Alrighty, here we go. We are on lesson 11 and we're looking at borrowing money, and we're looking at a note payable at 12%, and we're being asked what the interest expense is in the middle of the year at 6 months. This is called accrued interest. We're doing our our fiscal year wrap up, and we need to record that interest expense as an adjustment to bring everything up to date. So first of all, we've got to figure out what accounts we're using. Well, we know we're using interest expense because it's an adjustment. We also know that we're not really paying money out, but we're going to put it in a payable because we haven't paid it yet. So those are our accounts. Now we'll look at the numbers. We have $7,000 times 12%, and it's for half of a year. So we're only doing 6 months of it. And once you multiply that out, that becomes your debit. And the interest payable is the corresponding credit for that. Now, you come down to the end of the year, the end of the note year, and you're ready to pay it. Now you have to kind of rethink everything you've done. First of all, how much is that note for? That's for $7,000, right? So you know you're going to debit that and get rid of that. You have two interest expenses involved here. The first one is the interest expense you accrued. Now that's in a payable and it's already been expensed. So you can't expense it again. So you're going to debit the payable for this amount that you put in it on February 28th. Now, the last half of the note year has not had the interest recognized. So that expense you're going to recognize now, which is $7,000 times 12% divided by in half. And that will give you a debit for interest expense. You can't take this one because you've already taken it. Now, these are debits, and this is going to tell you the amount of cash you have to credit. And actually, if you take 7,000 times 12%, you should have the full interest of $840, and add that to 7,000, and you will pay a total of $7,840. But you can see how recognizing the interest in the first half of the year will have to be recorded down when you finally pay it off. So that is question 1. Now we're going to look at question 2, and it deals with selling, what are they? They're selling snowmobiles. And their snowmobiles, they have a warranty expense on, and they say it's for 3 years. And every year they look at this, and this year they've decided 5% of sales is going to be the warranty expense payable that they will probably have to pay within the next 3 years. So they set up a warranty expense, estimated warranty payable account. And so we're going to set all of that up as we get started here. So what it says is 20% of the sales revenue, let me get it right here. They receive cash for 20% of the revenues. So you'll multiply that $519,000 times 20%, and that gives you a debit of cash here. And then the rest of it goes on a notes receivable. And finally, your full sales revenue will go over here. That sets up the sales. Now you're going to set up the warranty expense payable. And this sets up just an allowance account, but it also establishes the warranty expense for this set of sales. So it's 5% times the $519,000 gets debited here. And then your payable is the credit on that side. Then in the year of 2011, they paid $19,000 in warranty. So now we want to adjust that account to make sure it stays within, that we're within reason here. So we're going to debit that payable account for that $19,000 and credit the cash, because that's what we actually paid out. And then we're going to look at this balance and see where it sets. We had, we debited $19,000. What was this amount that we had in here? You know, that comes from this here, which would leave us this much of a balance. So 5% of $519,000 is $25,950. That's what this question mark is looking at. So that's question 2, and it's worth 10 points. And I think we will stop this right here, and then when I come back, we'll start in on question 3.